We're now in Dcad lesson 13L, and we're continuing with drawing organization and sheet notes. And one of the things that I've noticed is that on my section drawing I have not noted the continuous metal gutters or the RIP 2x6 fascia, and I also have not actually installed or indicated the continuous ridge vent that we're going to have at the top of our ridges, our ridge on the trusses. So what I'm going to do is I've actually in my Google Sheets I've already added those three notes into Google Sheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this first one and hit Control C, and I'm going to go into Dcad now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom up, hitting Z on the sheet notes here. And before I do anything else, one of the things I'm going to do, because I have three notes that I have to add, I want to have one additional note that I can use should I decide that I need to install even more notes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this real quick and set a handle on the previous one at the point, and hit my scroll button to initiate the command. I'm going to hit N to duplicate, and just right click on the point here, hit escape. I'm going to select this rectangle that basically houses the sheet notes, and I'm going to select both of those points and hit H for orthogonal mode, and right click on this right one and just bring it on down so I have an additional sheet note there should I need it. Now the number's wrong because it's not sequential to 63, so I'm going to change that to I call it my info box and change that to 64. So that way, even though I'm installing three additional sheet notes, I still have a spare should I decide that I need another note. Now my sheet note that I've copied to my clipboard is only a single liner, so I'm going to delete this and just select it, hit delete. I'm going to grab these other three and using the comma point move and hit M. Point move, and hold down shift and arrow up 3 times, and then set the point, and that's actually was gravity move, and hit escape. So now these guys are ready. Now I'm going to select this text right here and click on my info box and select the text in the info box and hit Control V, and it's changed the text accordingly. And I'm going to click on the black color here. We're in the color tool blocks, and then hit A to apply. And so now that text is black as it should be. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the Google Sheets, and I'm going to turn that text into the red color. Okay, because it's already been installed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these next two lines and hit Control C to put that in my clipboard. Click back into Dcad and go to my text block command, and I see I need to change my text angle to 90, and I need to click into open dialog there and hit Control V, and it's placed the text in my box. And now I'm going to just right click up here to top left corner of the red text in the drawing, and then hit my scroll button. It initiates the command. I'm going to select this first text, hit delete, and then select the second text and hit delete. So now I have my notes. Now one of the things I need to do is I'm going to turn these three red, simply because I need to know that I haven't installed them in the actual drawings yet. So let me do that again. Oops, wrong one. These D3 and turn them red. There we go. So now I have one additional note that I need to place in my sheet notes here. So I'm going to go back to Google Sheets, and I'm going to turn these guys red also, since I've already dealt with them, and at least they're in the sheet notes. And now I'm going to select this last one, hit Control C, and I might as well turn it red now while I'm here. And clicking back into Dcad. Now, once again, this is a one-liner, so I'm going to hit select this text and just hit delete. And I'm going to move this text block up 3 small spaces, gravity move on the comma, and hit M. Hold down Shift and arrow up 3 short spaces, and then hit Enter, and then hit Escape. So now I can select the text and select it inside the info box and hit Control V and hit Enter. And I need to turn that text dark, so I'm going to change my color back to black and hit the A to turn that text dark. So now we have these 3 additional sheet notes that we need to deal with. So, and those will go into the section drawing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull my info box out of the way, and I'm going to 61 is continuous metal gutter, so I'm going to select that and place my handle on the point there, right click, and hit my scroll button to initiate. And then I'm going to scroll down here, and that's the note for the continuous metal gutter. And I'm going to hit N to duplicate my text box, and I'm going to just gravity move, hitting the comma to align it with right over the top of another text box. And then I'm going to use my down arrow, and I'm going to hit F5. When you hit F5, it does a longer crosshair that basically goes up the entire screen. So you can see how the arrow will align, because basically this note refers to the gutter. So I want to align with that gutter. I hit another one, maybe a small space down, and now I hit the 0 or insert key, and now I can hit escape. And now I'm going to do an arrow, and I just want to hit the arrow command, which is the greater than, or the period, period shift, and right click and hit H for orthogonal mode and come over to this gutter and get pretty close to it and hit K, and then hit my scroll button to initiate the command, and we're good to go. Now I can select this 61 here and turn it black by hitting the A, and also I can move over to my sheet note, just scroll up just a little bit and turn that one black because it's been dealt with. Okay, so the next one is going to be the fascia, and I'm going to select that. And while it's selected, I might as well go ahead and turn it black now. And I'm going to set a handle on it. Go to my set selection handle, go over to the point of the box and right click to set the handle right there. And now I'm going to scroll over, and this one, because it's referring to the ripped fascia, it's kind of crowded over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down below these text box sheet note boxes and hit N to duplicate, and go to this one, the lowest one down, and near the point, and gravity move using the comma, and go down one full arrow and set a point with the 0 key. And there we have it. So now I can actually just steal an arrow and hit N and duplicate it there. And now, so what I need to do is I like this because it's parallel that way. So I'm going to select this arrow, and actually I'm going to select these 2 points and hit H for orthogonal mode and come on out a little bit further so I can see that those are going to align pretty well with my fascia. Hit escape, select the arrow again, and H to go out of orthogonal mode and grab this point here just by right clicking on it and coming up and keeping it pretty parallel and clicking on the fascia there. Hitting the K, snaps to it, hit escape, and so we now have sheet note 62 that's referring to the fascia, the ripped fascia. So now, last but not least, what we need to do is we need to actually install a roof vent, a continuous roof vent at this ridge. So I'm going to zoom up on this ridge, Z for zoom, and get there and hit escape, make sure nothing's selected. Now we're in the wrong layer, so I'm going to click on my layers toolbox here and go up to and click on 75 because that's the section drawing layer. And now I'm going to hit Control F9 to look for a symbol, and it's in Sim, which is one of the main symbols folders on them, and I think it's ridge vent is what we're looking for here. So it'll be start with an R, and here we are. Here's the ridge vent right here. So I'm going to click on that to see what it looks like. That's not the one I want. So roof vent, click on that one. That's not the one I want either. So let me go up to go down to see if there's anything in vent, and I don't see anything. So I'm going to hit cancel and pause for a moment. Okay, I had to go hunting for my ridge vent, and actually it's called core vent. I could not remember what it was called, so sometimes you got to do a little exploration. So anyway, Control F9 again, and I'm going to scroll down till I see core event, C-O-R. Here we are, and I'm going to click right here on this guy, and that looks like the one I want. Open. I'm just going to set it here, and then that's my symbol, and so now I'm going to explode it. Go over here to the RV tools and hit the selection explode, and I don't need any of this other stuff. I'm just going to click on the text there and get rid of that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom up on this thing a little bit more, and I'm going to change this line weights in this guy to 0.04. Actually, be or actually whatever the roof is. I think it's 0.02. So I'm going to use the same as command. Click on it. Yeah, it's 0.02. Okay, and I move my info box out of the way. I'm going to set a couple of handles on the bottom here, and so I'm going to go to my set selection handles. Click on that. Right click here. And then right click here, and I'm going to hit move now, so that way I can hit M, and my first handle will go right on the ridge there, and I can see how I can rotate it around, and now I can hit K, and it'll snap to this upper roof line, and it'll be aligned parallel with the roof. So I hit K, and it goes right on top of it like that. So so now what I want to do is I'm going to mirror that, which is a slash, the mirror command. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to hit the slash to mirror it, and I'm going to right click just the one point there. Now these are overlapping, but that's okay. That's how we're going to adjust them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to set selection handle, and this one that's already selected on the very point of it, I'm going to right click on that and hit my scroll button to reset my handle to that location. I'm going to hit Z for zoom and zoom up a little closer, and I'm going to hit M to move it, and I can move it around. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go over here, and you can see over here in the snap toolbox there's a little one that says that's an I2, it's intersect 2, and I'm going to click on that, and what that'll do is intersect two lines. So I click on one and then click on the other, and then just left click, and it snaps to that line. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this other one, and actually that's not where I want it to go. Control Z. I'm going to hit click on my drawing, hit M again to move it again, and this time I'm going to try to click to this upper line here. So let me see if I can select that again and click here and then here, and that's where I want it. So this one I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to set the selection handle to point up here. Right click on it, and it snaps to it. Hit my scroll button, and then hit M for move, and click right here. And so I can hit escape now, and here's my roof vents in place. They look like they're overlapping slightly, but that's just because of the thickness of the lines. So so we have our roof vent in place, and so now I'm going to scroll over here to the sheet notes, and I have one more sheet note I have to put in there. So I'm going to just select this guy right here. I'm going to go over here to the color toolbox and click the A to turn it black. And then I'm going to set a selection handle on its point. Just right click and hit my scroll button to initiate. And so now I'm just going to hit N to duplicate it. And I'm going to stick this up like right about here, I think. And just left click to position it. Hit escape. And now I'm going to hit the arrow command, the greater than, or shift period. And right click, hit H. And it comes out in orthogonal mode and come out a little ways. Left click, hit H again to go out of orthogonal mode, and just right click here, or just K here to initiate, and then hit my scroll button to initiate the arrow command. And I'm going to scroll out a little bit. So that should conclude all of our sheet notes, but I have a spare down here should I need to add any more as I progress. So I'm hit Control W. And we now have all of our sheet notes on the drawings located, and so we're good to go. So that concludes Dcad lesson 13L.